Not yet. Now we got back here on youth computing. And now
receiving content, okay.
The health is good, right? And then, do you need to make it go online, or is it? Oh no, it's live now. There you go, it's live. So now it's going to literally show the screen. So you want to minimize this stuff, not close it, or else. Right? You want to minimize this stuff. Okay. So this is going out live now.
I was going to get the link so I can share it on Twitter.
Ah, there you go. That way. Obviously it's you guys, because it's vote option. See what's the vote that is supposed to go to the and the audio should be from that mic. Yeah, it's in the yeah, okay. Oh yeah, I hear it. Check. Test. It's delayed.
It's delayed. Yeah, that's fine. It is audio.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll get it on the app.
Yeah. I'll float around too, just that.
Okay, and then this.
Actually, whatever your channel is, you have a slash something.
For slash for channel.
Yeah. Or we can create a let me show you something that I do. I made one of these. Yeah, because I'm doing a. And that automatically goes to our live stream. Yeah, just this is my test run. This should show what's on my desk. If it's working. Right? Nobody there. We've been running for 5 days straight now. I have a little Python script that checks to see if it's up.
Yeah.
And if not, it restarts the whole thing. Because I want to see how long I can do it. So do you want to make one of these? I can make it FFPSD or computing one. Do you want to do a URL for it? Because otherwise it's going to be youtube.com/c/your/live.
Okay, well, we're going to put this up for now. Like that.
Yeah, absolutely. That way you can think about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
there are 24, I guess, there are 24 units, right? Or 28, 24. 24 spaces. Yeah. Okay, at least for these as well. Yeah. Yeah, no, I think we'll probably find other rooms here. Yeah, I need to do that. But if not, we've got upstairs. Worst case scenario, if they have to. Yeah.
What's the channel link? If I were to look for the channel link.
No, it's not. It's just like you should use computer.
Use computer, install computer. Okay. You don't have a link on your website. There you go. I saw you on the.
Oh.
Yeah. It's about a 20-second delay.
So we can edit the words and the language.
Yeah. Well, we gotta be recognize that that's taking up the iPhone, so we can't be insulting people.
Okay. Dosh.
No, people in a former job, some people got into a bit of trouble. Open like saying things they didn't regret.
Politicians sometimes get caught at conferences and
Always
making
assume.
comments and so this we can download the language, the whatever compiler or language or
Yes.
Very easy to install in Ubuntu. Super easy to install in Ubuntu.
Yes, and it's easy also, but the problem for the libraries and Windows is a little bit.
Yeah, it's a lot easier than it used to be.
But it's still.
For the library?
Like if SciPy, PyGam, and all those external extension you want to write to Python.
There's a hit thing that you have to install.
Yes.
I mean, mess with it, but it's such a hack.
I know.
It's so much easier just to.
Actually, Linux it's just.
And on the Mac, if you install Homebrew, it comes with Mac.
Homebrew is
do
good.
we need to put any signs that you guys
It
already
works,
use?
I know.
it works and all that
We're
stuff.
reading for every
So
time.
I done it in Mac. I done it in Linux. I give up. I just don't find any reason to continue.
Alright, I did it in Windows just to run this 3D printer software that I could run on my Linux partition on my computer because it was a 32-bit. Anyway, and it's working fine. Yeah, people's way because I don't take up the spot.
Alright.
Yeah. You guys are in charge.
Samsung B, right?
Yeah.
You can grab a seat anyway for now, and then we can get started at half after two.
Okay. Alright. Sounds good.
What's next door? I might hang out next door.
Yeah.
Just it was so resistant. Is it the same kind of thing?
It's the same. And so, I was working with Monday from London, and then these people are saying, this, these people is like that. They got some back. Your name isn't here, I'm gonna go right there, I'll send you my number. You know you already did, so I'll give you your name. Okay? And nobody, some kind of dog.
Okay, here's the audio test. Test, test, test. 1, 2, 3. Hello, hello, hello. And you probably should see me over in the left-hand corner too. Hello, how are you? Is everything okay? Everything's going well? Okay, good.
So,
You should hear me in 20 seconds.
yeah, I can hear you over here too.
Working?
Yeah. Okay, and then so give them laptops once these are full, the password is Westwood.
I'm impressed.
You can go. once all this is full, tell them to move them over there. Okay? And once you get them in, if they're flagged purple, move them over there. Okay? You know why? The flag purple ones are
What if the purple guy comes in?
somebody over here. Okay? You get it? Because our idea is to keep them separate in the ship. To keep them
The purple guy comes and they like.
yeah, okay? And if somebody can't find it, they're either gonna call me, that's fine, but I'll pick it up. Or and then because like it's gonna find its lab, right? And then once the workshop starts, everything's good. Like by 3, I'm getting everyone come.
Yeah.
Then start working on the certificates. Okay?
Then ends at 5. Okay. And then since there's 2 labs, which invite me?
Being this means you will be talking about. Okay? And just float around and ask questions. And and if it gets too truthful, you're gonna go to the on-game laptops too. So it's our team, right? It's our UIC team.
Yeah.
And any question you know.
To not.
Yeah, like locations from Chintan. Okay? And say for we roll around if we do, okay?
Okay.
Actually we won't around. No, wait, give it around. If you want to learn it, you can grab a laptop too. You can teach it. Or you can just float around with us.
But I'm gonna be here. What if someone asks a question?
And then just call me when we're ready to say. Okay? Go ahead. Appreciate it again. And I also have the presentation saying safety, washrooms, and emergencies.
It's live streaming on the other one.
Yeah, it's touching everywhere. By just going, it's touching everywhere. After posting on Twitter. I posted a link. It's one link. So.
Alright. Are you here for the workshop? I'll just get you signed in. It's your first name. See, anyone will be starting shortly.
And I'll fix it for this. Yeah, if they're playing Go, just ask them if they're fine. If they are, okay. Yeah, ask them, okay? And at 3, I'll ask you if there were any more than all. Because that's also teachers. They all have Python ideally. You just gotta tell them to go out and start and open your Python ideally, right? Okay, and me and Drew will float between these 2 labs. Okay?
Yeah, I haven't got the posters as well, but I think we'll work on it. Yeah, I think.
And so whoever comes in, sign them in, give them one of this and one of this. Okay, and everyone comes through here, then they go to the other room.
Yeah, so I guess the idea is to fill this one first.
Yeah, fill this one first, then move them there.
Then I'll go.
So I think probably 30 cents here right now.
Which is just what happens here.
I'll
We
sit
still
there.
have 28 plus 24 is 52 spots.
Yeah, but the problem is where they're gonna sit. Right?
We could go to 40 something
Yeah.
and start.
I think we kind of talked about maybe getting a little bit too hot. So I'm thinking like 30 and then everything over 30.
Yeah.
So 24 at these stations and then.
Yeah, 24 and then
then 6
once these
laptops
laptops
or,
full,
yeah,
then move them over
laptops
there.
and then-
And the live stream working, audio is working, so that's fine. It means you will float there answering questions there.
How many of these do we have?
Just 50. 50.
Yeah, which should be good. So, yeah, so give them one of each. Yeah. I'm gonna get. And also, before we start, I'm gonna talk about fire exit. The first one is that one right there.
Right, that
Washington
that's the point. Washington's are right here. First,
Right.
yeah. Nearest.
Yeah, so we'll start with that. And so I'll start off with that, and then I'll
We
give
start
it to you.
doing the presentation. We'll go this.
Because like a cheat sheet for the workshop, and there's you can have. There's a cheat sheet for the workshop, and that's
Sure. 50% cheap.
We should have probably cheat off
cheap.
So it's
We'll talk about it.
more than we thought. So
Really?
more than
More than 200.
oh wow. All right. Should be
Even us.
Check. Test. Hello. Test. Audio test for next door. You guys okay? Can you hear me?
And then also my next
What about the shadowing rules and all that? Well, yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
this evening.
Yeah.
There's text up on. Yeah, we'll get to the chat. Oh yeah, there's text. Okay. Hey, you guys who don't have one, just ask me if they're able. Because they have to do it. Okay. And so you guys don't have to wait your stuff. You don't have to go now. Wait. I can go. Yeah, and so like, Judy's make that, we have here,
I missed what you did.
yeah, you want each, or you're stacking them? Do you need anything for presentation or are you good? And like, yeah, perfect. And Deandra's after a week.
I hope she brings some also.
Water? Yeah, she should bring some water.
I told like 2 hours we don't stop at least.
There's food too. Wait, what is how you think?
She'll bring up water. There's a back there.
There's 5 people left. 5 people left.
Yeah, there's a lot of people. Okay. You can go stand over there, right? So we around the edge.
Yeah.
And then there, and we will come, try to move it there. Send them to you for registration first.
Okay. What grade?
7 like this. 7
It's later.
horizontal. Yes. You hear that after the start. Yeah, that was the start of all. That's the start of the year. Yeah, literally like 5 minutes.
There's only
1, 2, 3. And then some. Okay, you have that room? That's how you do it? I have if you are working on one, then you do combine it.
not that it's full. When something's full, it's just like
Awesome. Where's the space choice? Well, so we have, for the live stream, we're doing audio, it's studios, and we have the cheat sheets we're doing out, and then we have, so the idea is for this, that, and then the side rows, and then we're gonna push everybody else to the other lab. Because we have like, all of us are working too, and me and Julie both are answering questions. No, no, everyone's this one. But once this is full,
When it's gone, goes down.
yeah, that's it. Registration is 30, well, like 24, like we have like 30 now, but there's no space to sit. And like,
Yeah, that's a nice one.
yeah, 47, and like there's, I think it's more.
So it's
Our thing is to push it.
Pattern,
I
yeah.
think this one actually this one's probably not bad.
Mm-hmm.
I said we brought flag are like the ones that are in grade 8 or 7.
I think
You want to see the side and check? Just see it?
sure, yeah.
I'm very thirsty.
Oh, there we go.
I
So
have
for here,
200 people at
all right, Troy, I'm projecting well into the room, so hopefully you hear me. Let me know how it sounds. I'm turning the gain up a little bit on the mic as well, so how does that sound?
you guys can hear from there.
Yeah, it sounds pretty good actually. I can hear it through the walls, so that's good. Sounds good? Okay. So I've got it changed.
You look good in the good remain there.
Okay, well, I don't know. I haven't. I've done very little bit of Python, but so I think I would. I might be pretty faced, but that would be about all I would be. That's it.
My favorite is C++.
Yeah. I learned on C++. So I changed it to that one, which is I think it's directional here, but it also picks up some on the other side, and I turned the gain up a bit as well. So I think it should be good. You project well anyway, right? So I think you'll.
I'm teacher voice.
Yeah. So I think it'll be fine. I heard myself actually from. I could hear it. The only thing to be aware of is there is a slight delay when I was talking.
20-second delay.
Yeah.
I will try to have some stops.
Yeah.
To permit to everybody to type out. That's why I was asking if I could open this laptop. So we will let things in the next, preparing for the next, just go to, for myself to take a look on what's happening in the next, to open this one. But
Well,
it's,
we don't have the.
I will use
Use
the
that
laptop
one if you
first.
want. Actually, I'm going to log over this one here. Do you think I'm logged in here?
No, it's not. Just don't need it.
Yeah, I'll log out just because I'm logged in. I don't want to be logged in. But we can connect there if you want to see.
No problem. Just.
Yeah. And what I'm going to do, Troy and I are, once we get started, we're going to go back to the office and we're going to do some stuff back there. But I'll make sure that I'm going to run back and get some cards now. And I'll make sure that a few people have my cards. So if really there's a big issue, then we'll actually stream it a bit. So we'll listen in as well. But if there's any issues, we'll come back. We're just
No problem. And with Miguel also, he's our tech
good
for the district.
Yes, yeah.
And
I'm
he's the
pretty
most
sure.
helpful
I'm pretty
person.
sure we met before. Actually, I'm pretty sure that I think I met him once before at least.
He's really tech-wise. I'm not good with hardware, so it's not. How are you? Nice to see you again. Nice to see you. How are you doing? I need to get my boss lady. That's what I was presented at high school this morning. I finished at 12:45. Boys.
It's just information sheet where I've seen it. Yeah.
registration, the target was like 24 people. We have more than 50 registered. We opened 2 labs. We are doing live streaming, and some people are following from the live streaming, and the 2 labs are almost full. So just ask you for little patience for 5 minutes. You want to talk about the safety?
Yeah. Oh yeah. We're starting in 5 moments. There's a few people still coming, and so like we're gonna end it like we're gonna start in 5 minutes.
Okay, that's audio test. Audio test, can you hear me next room? Did I need to use my teacher voice? Is it okay? It's take like 20 seconds delay, so because it's online streaming right now.
Okay, so we'll get started. So welcome to Community Coordinate's second workshop. And so this workshop, we're going to introduce Python and just the basics of Python and just learning the programming language itself. And just a few information before we get started. In case of an emergency, the nearest exit is to your left. Washrooms are to your right and just down the hallway over there. And there are snacks at the back, so feel free to grab them at any time. You have been given cheat sheets and a poster that has more information and to help you out. And this will go from 2:15 to 5:15. And if you have any questions, you can always raise your hand. And one of us in like the black and white YC shirts will help you out. We also have a few other helpers who can answer your questions. And our teacher today is Mr. Saeed Al-Majdani from Westwood Community High School. So if you can just welcome him and he'll take on the workshop.
Thank you, everybody. I'm so happy. When we start coding at Westwood High School 3 years before, it was just because one student came to me and asked me, I want to make this game and I need to learn more about C++. I tell him, okay, come to me after school and I will help you out. My background, I have a master in computer science and 4-year PhD in computer graphics, but I was teaching math and physics and chemistry and all this stuff. And not coding at all. In French, because, excuse my broken English, the only English I talk in my life was 3 years during high school. But what happened when my students came, he wasn't alone. They were 15 at the door. We created a club. 70 students joined the club in the first year. Now we are offering computer science to more than 250 students in school of 650. And for me, it's a message. Inside the same school, you see that big interest. What about in the whole community? There is a lot of need, and I see it every single time. I see it when parents come talking about their kids and telling, what about us adults? Is there anything for us? And the only time I talked to my admin about it was no adult allowed to be in a school where there is minors. So it's why when we have this opportunity, and thanks to all the people who work toward that, with collaboration with Keyano and the Brainstem Alliance and Regional Innovation Network and Youth Coders, of course. So we get this opportunity at least to be open to everybody and you know there is no age for learning. There is no age for limits or whatever for people going forward and doing learning new stuff and improving their skills. I don't think that it needs to be back in age limitation. But today I will be talking about Python. It's one of my favorite languages, not my favorite is C++, but today we are here for Python. So Python is a wonderful programming language. You could use Python in every field. There is extension for Python for every single use. You use databases, you could use Python. You use web, you could use Python with Flask. You could use Python for every single field. There is thousands of extension of models that you could add and you could use with Python. Python is language who is very known, well known to be very, very I will try to make it. Okay, thank you. Sorry, I need to be louder. So, no problem. So, Python is known as a very easy language. But sometimes people think easy or free does not represent quality. And I will want to show you something. For me, it will talk better than myself trying to convince you that it's a neat language. Have you heard about the TUB? TUB index. What's TUB index? It's index giving you all the programming language and how is their ranking around the year of use. So if I go to the TUB index for languages right now, for 2018, Python is number 4. In 2017, it was number 5. And I will expect in next 2 years that Python will be number 3, because Python is going up where another language is going down because of trial between two companies. Oracle, who make Java, follow injustice on trial Google for using Java for the Android development. Google make 44 billions from that, and Oracle are asking 10% because they use their language. Now Google is moving everything toward Python because they don't want to use Java anymore. And that is something who's making change here. But for us, it's just giving you an idea. Python is not, it's very well used language. It's number 4 in, there is like 1,300 different computer languages. Python is number 4. So we're going to start talking about Python. We're going to make some programming together, but I want you just to see. This is not Scratch or something you play with. It's a full computer language, full of potential that you could use whenever you want. So Python is used by Google. It's used by other companies. There is a lot of companies using Python. The reason is that because Python is open source, there is no company behind, so nobody will follow you on trial because you are using it. Not like Java, like example. So that was the introductory. Today we are going to talk about Python. I'm very optimistic. I hope that I will cover everything, but I put a lot of things there. And realistically, I will be very happy if you cover 80% of the material, but for me, I put for every single title you are seeing there, examples and example code and everything. So we will have it in a folder named presentation. I don't know if everybody have access to that. No? Okay, could you ask the guys from the IT to... Okay, we'll send you the link afterwards. So it's so what I make a folder with the PowerPoint, with every single code I'm going to show you is there with the file. So it's if you have a problem with the typing or something, you could just go see, and you will find everything done there. So we are going to talk about the Python basics. We are going to talk about Python loops, Python ifs, Python random, Python string, Python functions. I will try to make a music activity with you when you are going to use Python language to make music without instruments, but real music. We are going to talk about Python list, and I will try to cover with you some of the Python graphic user interface. It's something that would be used for the Python 2 with the next presentation for Python. So how to make buttons, how to make give messages to the users, and how to make programming that are doing this. So we'll start with Python basics right now. Is it good? Sound, everything? Okay. In Python basics, we're going to talk about the output, the input, comments, math operators, and Python variables. And the way I'm thinking about this is, yes, we are talking about Python, but a lot of the concepts we are going to talk about are not only for Python. They are for every single computer science languages. They are abstract concepts that be used. So I will try to give those concepts a little focus to explain them correctly, and that will help you. Doesn't matter if you are using Python or C++ or Java or Swift, or doesn't matter what language you are using. So we are going to start to write our first line of code, and to do so, I'm going to ask you to go to idle tree. So I'm using Linux, but Dvani will help you if you are having...
So if you just click start in the left-hand corner of your computer, and then a search bar, if you type in Python IDLE, and look for one that says Python 3.6 or 3.7 IDLE. And then a window should pop up. It's going to be a white window. Yeah, 3.4 works too. And
So how do people another thing I'm going to tell you, and this is example how Python is really powerful. I'm using Linux, you are using Windows, some people are using their Mac. There is no difference. We are programming with Python, it will not make any difference. You make your same program and it will be portable, you could use it, doesn't matter the operating system you are using. And it's not the same case when you are using Swift or any proprietary language from companies.
No, I'm saying is this light can be turned off. You better visible.
Okay, I got it. It's the first time I'm presenting in this room.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, good.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. Sorry, I'm going to make. So, is everybody okay with the IDLE? Is everybody opening IDLE? So what you have here is the shell. I'm going to ask you to click on File, New File. will not ask you to do this, but I'm just trying to make the text bigger. So, is it clear for everybody? So we could start. So, what you are seeing here is the shell. And the shell is where you are going to see what's happening with your program. If there is error, it's going to show you. If there is anything not working, you are going to see what's happening and you are going to receive message. But also you could use shell to type code. When your code is one line or two, you could type it on the shell. When your code is few more lines, it's better to have a file and to run the code through the file. So we'll start with little. So I'm going to print. So here we are doing the output, asking to our code to print hello world, and you could see that hello world is printed. So what you see on the blue is what your program is doing.
Yes. I'm just gonna go around and give everyone like the files and just get a code so you have like a reference if you fall behind when he's typing. And if any error occurs, if you don't know, like if you get lost, just raise your hand and then I'll come, me or my friend will come help you out.
Okay, so right now we have a line that you could print and it's give you the printing in one line. If I want my printing to be on multiple line, print, double quotation, double quotation, double quotation, hi, coding is so fun, and closing the printing, and you will have text in multiple lines.
Is the number of quotations equal to number of lines?
No, the triple quotation give a sign to the interpreter because Python is not compiled language, it's interpreted language. Give it that indication that it's a multi-line. So when I put one quotation, it's one line. When I put three quotation, it could be 10 line, 20 line, 1,000 line. Doesn't matter, it's just the multi-line, it's triple quotation. So we see how we could print one line, and we see also how we could print multi-line output. We are doing this on the shell. Let's do it on a file. Are you ready? So I told you just click on file, have a new file. So file, new file, and in my new file, I'm going to do my code. So print, hi, how are you today? even if I put enter line, it will not compile. It will I will show you how you will compile it. I will print a multi-line. Oh, sorry, put the wrong. So I have the code here that we type, and I make a mistake. I need to make the, okay. So here, click on run, and run model. Or you could go to it with the shortcut F5. It's going to tell me your code must be saved. Okay, give it a name. It was our output. And you will see in the shell that all my output is showing here. If I close the shell and I run, now it will not ask me to save because it's already saved as file. It will open for me the shell and it will execute it. Yes?
It's giving me an error saying that print is not defined.
Oh, you put it print capital P. It's just lowercase.
Oh, okay.
So most error will happen from the mistyping. So we try just to. I was hoping that you have the file because I have all the things already made for you, so we could take a look, but it will happen later, okay? Sorry for that. Okay. Question for everybody. Is it going good right now? Are you okay? I hope that I'm not too fast. I hope that I'm not too slow. So, let's return back to the slide. You could print, you could have two prints, one following the other, and by default, it's going to put the printing on two different lines. So, like, I return back to my file. Here, I will just make this regular print with the one line. Hi, how are you? What is your name? So what will happen when I run this program? It will give me the both sentence in two different lines. Okay? I will show you. If you want them both to be on the same lines, you need just to add a comma after the quotation mark. Okay? So when you add the comma at the end of the first one, it will hook it to the next one. And they will show in the same line. So here, comma, run, execute. Sorry. problem with my compiler. So sorry, I just have I make a little mistake. This is the message you could see, but only on the Python 2.7. And that's the difference between Python 2.7 and Python 3. So in Python 2.7, if you put the comma after, like I done here, if you put the comma after in 2.7, when you run it, it's give you the connection of both lines. In 3, they changed that. Sorry, I just didn't pay attention with my PowerPoint. So the same code here, I'm putting in Python 2.7 and it's running on same line. If you go and if you put it on Python 3.5, it will show on 2 lines. So one question that we could ask is why we have Python.2 and Python.3? Why we have both? Why right now in the industry they are still using the 2 of them? And the idea is, in Python, people made so much libraries and with so much code, like NASA is using Python. Lots of a company in Meteo, they are using Python. And if you come like a company and tell, okay, I'm going to move to the next generation, adapt your code, or it's not working too bad. You need to go to the next one. You need to invest on the new one, and you need to go with it. In company, it's very acceptable, but for open source, when it's for people use, it's not. I have a small company, I make a program for my small company. I don't need to adjust my code every time they change the version of their language. So what Python do, Python 2 for the old stuff, and everybody using them will still be okay with them. Python 3 for every newer stuff, and it still be used, doesn't matter of the time. So it's open source, and it's really to make people life easier. So sorry, sometimes sometimes I will switch between Python 2 and Python 3 to show you just some differences. But if you start doing project, do it on Python 3. It's the newest, the most fancy, the most up-to-date. If you are dealing with old code, you don't want to go and change everything to make the movement, you could continue doing this on Python 2. So that's the choice between both of them. Other difference you could see between, for the output between both of them. So here it's Python 2.7. I could take off the parentheses out. And I could compile the code and it still works. If I copy this and I put it in Python 3, what will happen? I get error message. It doesn't run. So in Python 2, they were used to use the things the one way. They could continue using it. You could put the parentheses or not, it will still work. But in Python 3, they tell print is a method. We are going to talk about methods. Print is a method. It needs to obey to whatever methods are obeying to. And in every method, you have the information inside parentheses. Okay, so we'll we already talked about this. Two printing in two different lines. If you want to have different lines in your printing, double quotation, double quotation, double quotation. It could work also when you put single quotation mark, single quotation 3 times, it works also. When you want to print and you want to make some spacing in your printing, like tab spacing, or you want to decide how many, everything, single things in different lines, or you want, so those we name them the escape sequence. We are going to try some of them right now. So let's return to the Python 3.5. I know it was an error, we know it. So if, hi. So the first escape sequence we are going to use is the \t. \t give you tabs 5 spaces. So here in my code, I'm going to use the \t. How are you? And I'm going to put everything between the double quotation, because that's what we are supposed when we are doing the print. Run, and you will see that there is 5 spaces between hi and how are you. Okay, so that's our first escape second one, it's \n. It's moved to the next line. So if we want to go to the next line, we do \n. So if we return to the file, and instead of \t, I put \n, you will see that how are you is in the next line. Are you good with that? Okay, everybody? Okay. You could try the backslash R, the double backslash, who will give you one backslash. So you want the backslash to be displayed. The backslash quotation. So if I go to the code and I put backslash quotation here and another backslash quotation here, actually in my printing I will see the quotation marks. So when you print, the quotation marks are not seen, but if you want them to be seen, just put the backslash quotation. Is there any question about the escape sequences? We're going to talk about comment now. So when you are doing a program and I want to type something that I don't want the program to run, to compile. It's not part of the program, but it's just part for me. Or if I'm working with the team, I'm doing the code, I'm using a variable, but I want that my colleagues, when they see the code, they understand why I do that. Or if I'm doing something and I want, when next time I will open the code, to remember that it's for this purpose. So what I do, I comment it. So comment, this will not be seen by the interpreter. Okay? Print 345 multiply by 987. Okay? When I compile this, I have the result. My comment is not seen by the interpreter. I talk about interpreter, I didn't talk about compiler. Why? Because there is no compiler for Python. Python is interpreted language. You don't need to create executable file that your program needs to run. It's run just by being interpreted by the interpreter. And that's another thing who make Python more easy, but it's make it a little bit slower than C++ comparing. Because compiled language run faster. Interpreted language take more time, because it's interpreted on the way that it's going through the code. Yes? Okay. What is, I will give 3 different ways to deal with the computer language. The first one is you type the language, you make a compiler changing it to the machine language, and the machine understands the machine language, so it's run faster. That's what we name the compiled language. C++ is compiled language. All the exe.exe files are made to make the program executable file running as a machine language. So when you type your program is changed to be translated on machine language. So when you run it, it's easy, fast for the machine to read it. because it's on the machine language. Another language like Java will have dual approach. It's half compiled with the class files. So you have a version that it's there, but it's need in Windows machine, it's need the interpreter to interpret it. In Linux machine, it's need another interpreter to interpret it, and in Windows machine, it's need another one. So Windows have their own Java development kit, and the Linux have this their own, and the Mac have their own, and those are three different ways to read the code. The last type of the code, it's like for the Python or for JavaScript, it's on the go. You have an interpreter who reads the code and executes it on the. So if my line is print, it will print and go to the next line and do the command and reading it on the go that you are seeing the program being executed. Everyone is having strengths and weaknesses. Like, nobody will use executable file on web application because you never know, people will not trust it. It could be a virus because you don't know what's inside the executable file. So it's why Java was used for the web, because every machine could go to the class file and they know what's happening in the class file. So you have the Java apps, the Java apps for the web who were really popular and used because every machine trusted, because every machine could read it and know what's inside it. But when you have executable file, you only could choose to execute it or not execute it. You don't know what's inside it. In Python, it's more easy than that. The machine could go through the code. You give it the code and the machine go through it. So if there is something harmful, you could have the interpreter will deal with it. Okay? Is it clear? Okay, thank you for the question. So, you see that this is a comment. This is one line comment. If you want to make 2 or 3 different line comments, we could choose to repeat every time number sign at the beginning. But if it's become sometimes very, very painful to go through every line and to put a number sign, so what we could do, we could use the 3 double quotation mark, another 3 double quotation mark, and doesn't matter what you type, doesn't matter how many lines you type in between, they will not be in and you could see that it's showing in different color. So when it's one line comment, it's red. When it's multi-line comment, it's become green. So there is a color code to help you out to distinguish between all different stuff you have inside the same program. So when I will compile this, when I will interpret this, the only line it see, it's this line. Everything else, every comment line is hidden from the interpreter. The interpreter don't need to see it, it's only for you. When you are working on team, you need to share with the team. And when you are trying to make some traces for your code, because sometimes you make a code and you return 3 years after, what did I do there? I could not understand it. And the more you put comments, it's better for the coding you are doing. the quality of the code, how people will evaluate your code. It's how good you are at documenting it. The documentation is the #1 criteria. Because if a company have a very, very talented coder, but they could not understand what he's doing, if he left the building, who's going to deal with his work? Who's going to continue the task? So it's really important to document what you are doing. So, we are going to jump to the next. We have a lot of things, and I hope that we have enough time. And believe me, I'm very stressed about the time, but I don't want to be jumping and running. I want you to have the best quality time about everything and ask questions and be comfortable about everything we do. We are going to talk about variable. And to explain what is a variable, I will tell you it's a box. So variable is a memory box. So when I declare a variable, for the compiler, it's just going to take, oh, he gave me this name, I will reserve this amount of memory space for it. So when he uses it, I have memory space for it. So a variable is a memory space. We declare a variable. The interpreter will reserve for us the memory space, and it will be used as much as you call this variable to be displayed. So if I put grad equal 86, so grad is the memory box. If we put the memory box, if we open it, inside it, I will have the value of 86. So 86 is the value. Grad is the name I put for this memory box. I could go to inside my code and put student equal Bob or the and equal false. I will just go faster to, so for basics, I will show you what we have here, and I will explain what's happening. So if I put grad equal 86, what is 86? 86 is a number. So the interpreter will interpret that it is a number. I will reserve for it a memory for number. And if I come here and I put grad equal this big number, it's go to grad, it's still same memory space, but instead of having 86 as a value, it will put in this memory space the new value I put. And inside my program, I could change the value of variable several times. It's not a problem, as much as I respect the type. Yes? Question? Okay. So let's see how the interpreter is interpreting what I give him. So grad equal 86, you know that it's integer, so it's number. Student equal Bob, that's text. And the end equal false, that's a Boolean. So we are going to print the type of grad, the type of student, and the type of the end. And we see how much the interpreter is dealing with that. So we have the first one is an int, the second one is a string, and the third one is a Boolean. just go change something in our code. So instead of putting 86, let's put 86.5. Okay, and then we run it. So it's become floating number because it's decimal. It was integer number, now it's become floating number. So the interpreter is dealing good with when you declare a variable, you give it a name, it will reserve the space, and when you give it a value, it will see what type and adjust the space for it. Yes? Okay. I will return back to the code. If I was too fast, I will let it for you few. So you could try it and type it, and to be sure that everybody is okay with that. So is this okay, everybody? Could we continue? Okay. One thing you need to be really careful about is typing. It's really strict typing. So name with capital N is not name with lowercase n. So if we go to our code here, and if we print grad with uppercase G, we receive an error. It doesn't know name error, name grad is not defined. So it's only recognize grade with lowercase. And if I put the right here, I will not receive an error. One thing I tell to my student and even to younger age students, sometimes I work with grade 4s, grade 5, grade 6. One thing I tell them all the time, the best things I get from the code inside is to be more careful about what you are typing. And if you are doing English or do whatever you are doing, it's make you more cautious. If in code you forget a comma, the code will not run. So there is no excuse for small error or big error. If there is an error, it will not run. So that's make things more, make you more careful. So when somebody show me the code, it's easy for me to go because I'm not used to see that this comma or this little thingy, it could be the problem. So there is all the time, that's a benefit that we take when you learn coding. You become more careful about what you are typing. Okay? Need help? So let's go further. So we talk about Boolean, we talk about integer, we talk about float, string. We're going to talk about lists by the end and tuples. And what lists are? Lists are data structure that you could store data in. What are tuple? Tuple are data structures that are fixed. When you define them, you could not change them. Like if I'm using text file and JPEG and those only, I put them in tuple and they never need to, because it's not adaptable. When list, you could add to it and so they remove from it whenever you want. Tuple are, you done it first time, it's the end. It's never modifiable, it's never adjustable. So those are dependent on what you need and what you want to go with in your programming. You choose the best structure for it. Okay? Is there any question about that? We are going to talk about the input. So how to make your program taking value from the user and using them for your purpose. So we're going to talk about input, and we're going to go to the code and do something with input. Input, single quotation, so I put input, what is your name? I could run it, nothing will happen. Because what the program is doing, it's going to ask me what is your name. I will give it whatever and it doesn't do anything with it because I didn't store it somewhere. So what I will need to put it on a variable. So let's put name equal. So now it doesn't matter what the user will type, it will be stored on the memory space name, and later if I want it, I could just go and print it or use it in my program. So I will run. The program will ask me, what is your name? My name is Said. And it's print Said. It's take it and it's return it to me. And in your program, you could have different information you take from the user, and you could use them to give him a service or whatever. So let's try having information. So now, what is your name? My name is Said. Hi, nice to meet you, Said. So you could ask the user for more information and you could use it and could create a little web page when you store this information or put it in database or having a big data collection, or that's dependent on what is your target on making your program. But I'm just showing you. That's how you get information from user. Information from user are all the time, and we talk about data type. Doesn't matter what the user give you as information, it will be all the time a string. Even if he put number, the interpreter will take it as a string. And interpreter, when you put a number as a string, could not identify its number. So we are going to fix that later, but I just want you to see what's happened. So if we change this to age, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you what is the type of name. So now we are going, what is your age? My age is 48. Enter class string. You see that it's interpreted as a string. How to fix that? Easy. If you want to use the numbers as numbers, we just put int and put everything inside parentheses. So now you see that the class become int. And what we name that? We name it the casting. What's the casting? It's changing the type from another type to another type. We use casting in every single language you could use, and it's a concept when I get the information on a type and I want to use them in another type, so I just go and change the type by using the casting. So we cast name from string to int, and we could use it now as a number. And we could, because it's become a number, we could print this number, name, multiply by 5 or by, and it's going to display to you what is your age? 48, and age 48 by 5 is 240. So I don't know what will be your intention from getting data from the user and what you want to use it for, but it's give you the idea that if data is in type and you want it in another type, you could cast it and you could change it from type. Is it clear for so far? Yes?
I'm having trouble exporting the code here. When I do this, I just print it like this.
So it's asking for what is your name, you can see. Oh, you need another one?
But how did you get the thing that I need, the class and the class?
I'm going to show you the code. It's not the right parenthesis, so I use it. Okay. Is there any question? Okay. Another thing we talk about, so if you put a number in string between a quotation mark, you could not use it for operation. So if I put my num string equal 56, I could not add 4 to it because it's still string and you could not add number to strings. There is no match operation between a number and string. Okay? So, could try it. Name. So let's put n equal between quotation 56. Print n plus 4. And what's happened? It's an error. Can't convert n to string. Can't convert int to string. That's what you receive as error. And that's what stop you from doing the operation. So this will not happen if you don't have the quotation. Because putting the quotation mark the answer is 60. Okay. Is there any question before going to the next? So we talked already about the casting. So when you have input with number, you all the time need to cast it because every input is a string. So we talk about input, but we could have variable in your output. So when you want to output with the variable, if your name variable is Bob and you want to print name is Bob, so we just have a comma and put Bob. Or we could put a plus between the text and the variable. So you could have variable in your output. Oh, sorry, I done the big mistake in the planet here. The double quotation. And now hi Bob, that's what you get. So you could have your variable in your output, no problem. So math operation, you know what's addition, what's multiplication are. When you are using programming, you need to use operator plus, minus, multiply, divide, floor division. Percentage is the modulus, It's give you the remainder when you are doing the division, in division, and exponential. So let's try some of those. So I will print the results of those operations. So if I want to power 5, it's 32. So that's give you the exponent. If I want to multiply by 5, it's 10. And we could go with more examples. I put some examples here in the code I'm sending to you. So I will run this example and show you what's. So those are the math examples. And you could go to row together. So let's start with the first one. Three plus 4, it's 7. 1.5 multiplied by 12. Something here is happening. One of the number is not integer, it's a floating number. And when one of them is floating number, the whole result will be floating number. If at least one of your number in all the calculation is floating number, the result will be given at the biggest precision, and you have best precision with floating number because it's going to give you the decimal as a result. And if all your number are integer, it will give you the result as integer. So I will change the remainder just to explain the remainder for the people who don't know the remainder. So if I have 13 divided by 4, what will be the result? 4, that's the end result. So 4 multiplied by 3, it's 12. And I'm actually missing one number there because I'm having 13. That's the remainder. So if I have 25 by 7, it will give me 3. How is the remaining that I didn't use in the division? It's the remainder. So it will be 4. So why you use the remainder? Most of the time, like when you want to have a treatment, you're like, I want it for 1, 4, 7, but I don't want the in-between values, that you could use the remainder and evaluating where the remainder is and how it's. So when you are doing games or stuff, you need sometimes to select cases, and this is good for that. Other, okay, I don't know if I could go to the other things. Is it okay right now? Are you feeling tired? We will have a 5 minute, or I don't know if you want a break. Just bio break in between to make things. Okay. I will talk about the int division and the normal division. So I will just take this example. I will make the example right now. If you have 15 divide by 2. We're going to print it. result is 7. Okay? But is 15 divided by 2 7? No. So if I want the exact value, even if I'm putting 15 and 7, I could go to my code, and instead of using the double, I will add it 7 to 5. So you have two division operation. You could have the int value by the double division. You could have the float division by the single division. So it's dependent on your program. Do you want the precision to go to the .5, or do you want it just to be int number, depending on what you want when you are doing your program. So it's a lot of tools that you could use when you are doing stuff with Python language. Okay. I'm feeling that I was really boring those few minutes ago. Do you want we do something practical? Okay, so we are going to do some graphics together. Okay, let's start with calling a library. I'm going to use a library named Turtle. What Turtle as library is? It's 2D graphics, basic graphics, colors. You could draw things. You could make some fancy graphics with the Turtle. And it's already in the Python basic models. So if you want to use a gaming model like a Pygame, you need to install it, and we need installation inside your Python program for the Pygame, or for the other, or the PyOpenGL for the 3D games. We need to install them. Those are external extensions. So that's something Drew will be talking about next presentation, about extension, adding extension to your Python. But Turtle is something already integrated, already in the Python. We're going to use that. So import Turtle. We need to name our Turtle. So what do you pick as name? First suggestion. No suggestion? Okay. I will name it E equal turtle dot turtle. So we have first line, import Turtle, we import the library. E, we name the Turtle. Second line, we name the Turtle E, and it's from the library Turtle. I'm using the method Turtle. So I'm calling this library, and from there, I'm using this part to create for me my Turtle. I'm naming my Turtle E, and I'm asking E to draw for me a circle. Do you want to see the result? We have a circle. It doesn't take more than 3 lines to have your product, and that's what's great about Python. You need some basics to know what to do, but when you are good with that, there is library for like everything. And you could, in less than 25 line of code, you could have your program graphic going to open for you folders and files and doing things. It could be done by Python. That's easy. But the problem is, as learning a new language, we need some basics, and those basics take time. So sorry, I did the bad rule to introduce to those basics, and with Drew will show you the fancy things. How to use those code to see the camera and to detect faces on camera and to do very fancy things. But you could not go to the fancy things if we don't invest time on learning the tools you need to use. So do you want we continue with the graphics? Show you that let's make something. So we are going to ask for input. And I'm going to put input is my number. So n equal input. How many circles you want? Okay, so we have how many circles you want. I'm going to add little for loop. We are going to talk about for loop just in few. So for I, n, and n, and we change this to int. We need to cast it. You remember the input is all the time a text. I will draw a circle and I will ask A to turn left by angle of 15 degrees. Okay, so I will run this program. I will return to it to give you more time about the typing. So this is waiting for me to enter how many circle I want. So what suggestion? 3? Okay, 3. Oh, sorry, I don't know. In range, I didn't type the range. That means how many repetition I need to do. So let's do it again. So how many circle I want? 3. And we have 3. Let's run it again. Run. How many circle I want? Let's put 15. And we could go with repetition of 15 circles. Okay, that I will return to the code, but I hate that. You know why? It's too slow. Do you want to make it faster? Okay, a.speed, I will make it 100 times more faster. Okay, try it again. Run, run. Okay, now I will make 50 of those. Enter, and you could see that the 50 are drawn instantly. Yes? You need to if you want to pause for 5 to 10 minutes, I will be okay about it. If you want to continue, I will be here to continue with you. Need help?
It's okay. I'm just wondering, what is this vector like? What does it mean?
It's just where the direction of the rotation is.
Yeah, so I changed it to right. That's what I thought. Like then if you start doing this instead of this, for example, I can just do this to right.
It's dependent. Okay, I will show you just to show you this. If you see the turtle, it's how the head. So we'll just put part of it here. You are seeing the whole Okay, guys, I received this question too many times. I want just to help out with this. So So I want just to show you what happened. Some people tell me, oh, I draw the circle to left, I want it to the right, but the whole circle is not going to the right. When you ask for left or right, is that the end of the arrow who is drawing the circle. And you know this end of the arrow, what it is? It's your turtle. So actually there is a little turtle who's going and drawing for you, and you ask it to do whatever you want, and this turtle is turning, not the whole graphics, by the angle you ask it to do. So only the arrow is turning by the angle you ask to the left or to the right. So we are going to continue. I'm not going to put a lot of times here, but you know, the PEDMAS rule, the same rules that we use in the math are used for the interpreter. So the interpreter for Python is using the PEDMAS rule. So do your parenthesis, your expansion, your negation, addition, subtraction, multiplication. So the rules are exactly the same rules. So PEDMAS, parenthesis, expansion, exponential, division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction. Those are the order of the operation. So when you are typing or calculating or everything, it will respect the same rules. So when you are dealing with the calculation, when one of the numbers you are using is floating number or decimal, the whole result will be decimal. So 1.5 multiplied by 12 will give you 18.0, even if it's exact number, but it's decimal. The type, it's still floating number. We could use some shortcut. So if you have your number equal 3, number multiply equal 2, it will multiply by number by 2. It's a shortcut. So instead of writing number multiply by 2 equal to have the whole things, or to have another things giving you the number multiply by 2, you just put number multiply equal 2. And that will give you the number will be replaced by the number by its double. Do you want to try this? Okay, let's do it. I will return to Turtle, guys. I will return to Turtle graphics. We are going to use it for a lot of stuff we are going to use, so we could see it visual, what the code is doing, and we are going to talk more about color. We are going to use it also to show the random. And as example, I use the turtle, and also I use the music stuff to be the more practical things about the coding we are doing. So let me know if you something you don't like or something. We could adapt it. It's not concrete things. My role here is to be serving you and serving what you are curious to learn about and to make this happen. So I'm going to show you what's happened with this. So if I put my number equal 5, if I put my number multiply by 3 and multiply equal 3, what does it mean? You remember that number is the box. What's the box contain? It contains 5. when I put number multiply equal 3, it will take whatever value in the number, multiply it by 5 and return it to the box. So if I print my number, what do you expect? Yes, exact. So that's a shortcut that you use to. The other way to do it, and it show you how we name it shortcut, will be number equal number multiply by 3. That means you multiply your number by 3 and you put it inside the number box. And the easy way is number multiply equal. You know, we like to be very lazy when we are doing programming. You don't want to do something you do in 5 lines and you spend 15 lines to do it. So it's make this efficiency going up. So it's the best to use all the shortcuts and to make the most valuable work with the minimum effort and the minimum line of code. Okay. We are going to talk about loops. We already start talking about loops a little bit with the for, but we are going to make it more kind of clear. So, what's a while loop? It's a block of code associated with a condition. As long as the condition is true, the loop will continue. It will break when the condition becomes false. Or it could be the infinite loop. So, if you have a number equals 0, when the number is less than 5, you print the number. Every time you add by 1, so it's go for 0, for 1, for 2, for 3, for 4. But when you add 4 to 1, it's give you 5 and it's break the loop. So that's how it works. I could show you the example. So, you see how it works for a while loop. One thing I want you to be careful about when you have a while loop, after the 2 dots, we have all the time after the 2 dots, there is indentation. Everything who is indented will be inside the loop. If I put something not indented, it will be, here my loop will be infinite loop. Because the adding x plus 1 will not happen inside the loop. It will happen outside. And because my loop will be infinite, because x will be still 0 all the time, it will never end. So the indentation is the sign that something is inside the loop or outside the loop. Everything indented inside is inside, everything not is outside of the loop. So if I run this, big problem, never end. Okay? So that's creating never ending loop. And it's really, yes? Yes, I stop it because here it's running. So, oh, sorry, I fixed it here. So I'm just going to break it again. So it's running on the shell. I completely close the shell to make it. And it's telling me your program, it's still running. Because it will be running tomorrow if I didn't stop it. It's really infinite loop, and it's...
Would Control C stop it, or something? Is there something that kills the process? Or no?
Is there something? So we're, with the shell, the exit is Control plus Q.
Okay.
So you need just to activate it and Control Q, but it's... that's good when we are dealing with the shell. But if I will make a 3D game or something and it's running, that will not be killed by the Control Q. Sometimes students need to restart their computer completely, because no other process could run when you have a heavy program running and with infinite loop. Especially for the 3D, it's something really... Okay. Is there any question about the while loop? No? Hmm? How to stop the infinite loop? I will show you some. We'll have some break things and stuff, so you could make it breaking the while loop, because so I will show you a little program I make here. It's take a number and give you all the digits used for this number. So give me a number, please. Okay, 53, 76. So let's put them together. So this number, unit digit is 6735. So how we do this, it's just by using this loop. Who take the number, give the remainder by division by 10. You remember the remainder? So when I have this number 53676, the remainder will be 6. It's take it, it divided by 10 and do the next and give me the 7, divided by 10, give me the 3, divided by 10, give me the 5. And that's just the loop. Who is doing that? Okay? So it's just a little example to show you how loop run. Yes? Second line. This one? Oh, we don't need it actually. It was a little problem I was given to my student to give me the sum of all the digits. It's just a little, make them think about how to to split number, to split digits, and to think about it. So, okay, could we go forward? Is there any question? For loops. So we already see the for loops in our Python program, in our turtle. And the for loops is work like this. For x in range, and you do the statement. The statement need to be indented. One tabulation space indentation. So let's start make another example here. So that was the while. Let's do the for. So there is the for the for item in so the range give you how many repetition you want. So if I give 10, I will print item. So for item in range 10, I will print item. So the first one will be 0. Oh, why? Oh, I still have the print input the number. Okay. I don't need it. So the first one is 0 and it stop at 9. If I put range 10, it stop at 9. If I put range 20, it stop at 19. It's just the number before because it's starting from 0. It's all the time stopping one before. Okay? Let's return to import turtle. Let's try this with turtle. T equal turtle dot turtle. T dot forward. Uh-oh, it's not a dot, it's a comma. 100 and T dot right now, before I done left, so let's do it right. 170 and T dot circle, and let's give it a 20. Okay, so let's try it. Similar to before, we are going to make it more faster. So T dot speed okay, 70 times. We could give it a color. I don't know what color you want. Green, okay. Okay, and now It's green. We're going to give it a background. And to give it a background, s equal turtle dot screen. Okay, s dot background color, bg color, yellow. I have yellow color, green, drawing. And I return to the code. So instead of having 10, I could make it 100. And it will repeat 100 times. Okay, so we could see that for loop, could use for graphics, could use for a lot of purposes. It's very, very useful tool when you want to repeat stuff certain amount. Is there any question? The code, yes, sorry, I'm just, I will go to the code and I will make the code and the graphic aside. I will tell you, my first language I learned was Pascal. Second language I learned was C++. And to make a window like that in C++, it's like hundreds of lines of code. In Python, libraries are everywhere and they make your life easier, and every code you will need, it's easy to make. Yes?
I have a question. Do you have inbuilt debugger or something? Like right now, we need to know like what functions are there in right?
Hmm?
Like we need to remember that what functions are there in right? So is there
there is a website for something. Okay, good question. So that was a really good question. So where to find all those functions for turtles? I will give you a little exercise. You are going to try them. So if you go to the web and Google Python turtle, you will have turtle graphics. You will have the function, some example that you could use, and everything. Like we use forward, there is backward, there is right, left, go to. So if you are drawing and you want to go to another position, you could do the go to and go right away to the other position. You set X for your coordinates, X and Y's, circle, dot, speed, position, and you could go pen control. You could have your pen up or down. You could have, if you want to fill the color, like if we want to fill, we could use begin fill and end fill. If we want our graphic to be filled with the color, so if I go here, if I go to our graphic and I start here, T dot begin fill, and I come here at the end, T dot end fill, And before that, I'm going to change the color, t.color, so the fill-in color will be different, and I will put it purple. And now we are going to run our program. And you have purple. So in this web, you could click on any function you have here, and it's give you examples how to use it. So the turtle, I will tell you, the turtle is present in any decent course about Python. It's really very good to see the graphic side of the things and using the tools on the graphic. So if you go to even university books like How to Think Like Computer Scientists, you will find chapter 4 is about turtle. Full chapter 4 about turtle. So in any serious document about, they use turtle because it's, you could see it, it's make things more visual, and it's make things easy because you could see them. And turtle is very good. There is a lot of function that you could try and you could play with. I hope that we have time. I will show you how to make buttons in your graphic for turtle and drawing different things by clicking buttons. That's a part of things I prepare for this presentation. And my only worry is the time. So is there any question about what we see so far? I'm not sure if I'm right or wrong, but my thinking around this presentation was, I'm going to present, I could come and present only fancy things, but I know that's a programming language. We need some abstract concepts to learn them because they make you better programmer. So learning about the basics of Python could not go without knowing what loops are, what's the structure, what lists are, and everything, because that's what the tools you are going to use for the program you want to make. Doesn't matter if you want to make phone application or you want to make a web application or we want to make, it's all the time, those are the building material that you use for that. So I'm feeling that I'm behind of the time. I will just try to. So we already see the turtle, the range. Let's talk about random. I'm just going to go to the most important topics. We're going to talk about random. Making things random, especially when you are programming games or something that you want the user to not be expecting or to give him different service for different people. Random is a good tool. And what's random? It's generating random numbers from the computer clock and giving you those numbers to use for the program. We are going to try them. So I'm going to our code. I'm going to add random. So I'm importing turtle and random. So what we are going to make, we are going to make those lines that we draw for the graphics randomized. That means every time it will be different size. Are you good with that? So let's put s equal random dot rand int. We are going to have a size between 50 and 150 every time. And here we are going to go forward by s. So it's just sometimes the indentation go wrong, so let's and every single line is different size. So our graphic will be unpredictable because every single time it will do another shape. Okay? So we could play with it. It's just, and when you are doing graphics and animation, especially when you are doing games, random numbers are really, really important. They give this feeling that every time people play, it's not the same thing. How is it going so far? It will never give you the same things. The probability is very quasi-zero to give you the same graphic 2 times a row. And if you want, we could make the color random. You want to try it, or is it okay clear for the random? If we want to randomize the color, for Python we need to, I'm just going to change turtle dot color range, and we put the color range to 255. What does it mean? That means that the red component, green component, and the blue component will all value between 0 and 255. And here, we are going to put R for red equal random.randint between 0 and 255. I'm going to do similar to G, which is the green component, and to the B, which is the blue component. And I will put T dot color to R, G, and B. Oh, I type color range with the, oh, it's color mode. Sorry, color mode. Sorry, please change it. I was thinking about the 4, and I was thinking about the range in the 4. So you will see that every single line is different color, and it's just do it again. And let it run in. And take off this and use the last color, it will be there. So every time it will give you different stuff. I just take out the line. So here I take the purple. I don't think so. It's a little reddish. I know that in projector you don't see it as I see it in the screen. It's not what you see, what you get. But I could try it different times, and every time it will run with different background color. You see that it's so it's we put the random on it, and it's all the time funny to see the random effect. So I use random.randEnt. You could use random.randRange. And those give you, if rand range, you use a step. Like you want value, but you only want even value or odd value or multiple of 3, or so you give it a step, so it will give you only the value with this condition. And random.random, it will give you a number between 0 and 1. It will be decimal number between 0 and 1. So it's dependent on about how do you want your number to be served. You will choose what kind of random number you could use. Okay? So we talk about strings. Strings have some methods. I think Dhruv asked me about strings to be, he wants the strings for the next presentation. So I will try to cover this very minutious, so people will not have struggle with the next presentation that Dhruv is given. So we are going to talk about strings and what strings are. If I put S equal comp sci, computer science, it will create a memory place, memory space. S is the box, you remember, variable is the box. S is the box, and inside of the box you have, we start counting from 0. So the 0 will be C, the 1 will be O, the 2 will be M, the 3 will be P, the 4 will be S, and so go on. So that's a string. String is train of characters, and we start counting them from 0. Okay, so S is a memory address, is a box of memory that we use for the string. When you have a string, you could print characters, 0 position, 1 position, 2 position, until the end of your string. And we are going to try it right now. So file, a new file. So S equal So if I want to print S index of 0, okay, what is the 0 is the C. And if you see, when you print, it's C. Okay, so you could print as index of 2, index of 6, and we could continue with it. It's just, you could print from an index to another index. So here, I could print from 0 to 4. Oh, sorry. Okay, sorry, I mistype here. It's the colon. Run model, and go. And it's print comp. COMP. That's from 0 to 4. It's never reached the fourth one. The 4 is the limit. It's never reached it. So it's print 0, 1, 2, and 3. So if I go 0 to 6, okay, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All the time, the last one is just the limit. Because it starts into 0, it will print 6 letters. But the 6 letters starting from the 0 index. Is there any question about how string is made? It's the train of characters, and you have them all indexed. Yes? Need help? Okay, if I print S colon minus 2, it will print the whole except the last 2. So here, if I minus 2. So it will not print the C, it will not print the I, it just print comps. Okay, so you could start from a number and accept the last 1 or 2 or 3, or doesn't matter, it's just dependent. String come with the several methods, and those methods are really important. So the most important methods for string, len, give you the length of your string. So if I go here, I could print len of S, and the length of S is 7 characters. So when somebody enter for you a text or something and you want to be sure that it's right length and right stuff or right information, a code number or registration code or whatever, who is that length, you want to be sure that it is the right format. Length is good to give you the length of the string who is given by the user. Other things, that we could use with the string, it's the find and ref find. So find x will give you the spot where x is from the start of your string. So let's see our example here. If I'm looking for P, so when you're talking about find x, so find P will be quotation, and what is the spot where P is? Okay, what did I do wrong? Oh, here it's s dot find P. So s find for me P, it will give you the index where P is. And because in our code P is the 0, 1, 2, 3, that's what we get as result. Let's see, we have, okay, we're going to find C. So I could introduce you to R find. So C is the number 0. But you know that here we have another C. So we are counting from the start. We want the first C. But what happened if we want to the last one? So here it's R find is the method to give you the last one. It will ignore all the C's until it finds the last one. And the last one is in position 5. So the find gives you the first one and stop. The R find will go to the last one. Do you feel okay? Do you want a little light activity before going forward? Music? Okay, let's go do some music. We're going to stop using the, ideally we're going to use a web interface and we're going to make music. And please be tolerant, accept a little noise in the lab because everybody will be doing music. You could reduce the sound if you want, but it's just seeing that what you are doing with the Python you learned that you could go and make some music. Are you okay with that? Not really? Okay, let's try it. Let's give it a try. So I'm going to a website named EarSketch. And what's EarSketch? It's a website made by GTech, Georgia Technology. Georgia Technology, they have something neat. In that university, every single person who is attending the university, doesn't matter the program they are attending to, need to take computer science. but they have different offer for computer science for everybody. You could take music with computer science. We could take image animation, or you have a lot of streams that you could choose, but mandatory. Doesn't matter if you are doing humanities or if you are doing architecture or if you are doing, you need to take computer science class. And you know what is the success rate on the computer science classes? 80%, which is not bad for GateX. It's just amazing. So people are really successful. And in some class, like the music class, humanities people are rocking the mark better than the computer science people. And we are going to just give it a try, and you could see how it works. So that's ear sketch. You could see that ear sketch from GateX.education. We are going to get started. So it's a web platform that you could go and make your music and have all sounds from every instrument you could dream about and put them together and make your own music just with using Python code. So I'm just going to... So when I go to this website, click here to create a new script. So I click there. The extension of the file is Py because it's a Python file. We are going to name it Try It. Create. So you could see this is our comments. You remember what we done today? Those are comments. From each sketch, import star. That means we are loading the library like we done with Turtle. Init is the initialization function. Tempo is what tempo you want for your music, who is going to play. And finish is the end of your file. Okay, so let's start with having a variable. So my first variable will be muse1. That means music 1. It's my variable. It will give me an error as soon as I type it because it doesn't have a value. And the value are going to choose it from the music offer. So muse1 equal. And I go to sound. Did you see here sounds? So when I click on it, it's give me multiple sounds. I could choose by instrument. Okay? Or I could choose by genre and giving me the choices. So if I go by instrument, what instrument we could... so it's... So, percussion, I could try the sound, but I don't think if so I could try it. If I like this music, I just click on it and it's give me the code for it. So if you click on the blue things, it's give you the code for that sound. Now this music will not play. We only have the variable. We only fill the variable with the value. So let's say that I want to play this sound. Let's see that I want to play this sound for 20 time spots. So I will use main music. Sorry, I'm feeling a little memory jump, so I need to ask one of my students. I forget the function to read the music. And the function to read the music is the fit media. So fit media. Fit media is a function who take 4 parameters. The first parameter is your variable. So my variable is muse 1. So I give it the variable as the first parameter, comma, where do I want to rank, because when I'm going to have those audio streams, I could rank it whenever I want. Even if I have 1, I could rank it the 3rd one. Or if I have 2, I could rank 1 first and 1 third. And those will be my music streams for different sounds. So I will give it 1 because we don't need to have more than 1. I give it when it starts, and I give it when it ends. So muse 1, comma, starts, it's my first one, rank 1. Actually, I'm going to give it rank 2 just to show you what's the difference. So I'm going to run this code right now. And you will see that the first one is empty. Rank 1 is empty. Rank 2 is having my music because I put it rank 2. And it's starting at 2, not at 1. It's starting the second moment. And I could play it right now. So it's repeating it from 1 to 30, and it will start at 30. And here you have a lot of tools. The only things you need is Python language, and you could use every song you want, every single music adjustment that you want. It's a part of the music program at GATEC. Everybody doing the music program there need to learn a way to use Python code to make music. And it's kind of, it's a DG way of doing things. Yes. Oh, sorry, I'm just, you know, it's web-based, I don't have any. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to stop this, and I'm going to make things as big as, oh. Okay. So, same way we done the first sound, we could use another sound, muse 2. Muse 2 equal, and what we are going to do, look for music sound that we like, changing the instrument we are using, go into genre, I'm not good with the music doing, but I have students who do really, really beautiful music here. But it's just to showing you that Python is used for that, and you could make your own music if you are interested about it, and it's not that hard. Actually, I'm having students in the next room who make beautiful music before. I'm going to show you what people who are interested about this could use. I'm just looking for code for Escas.
Yeah, but it won't be this email. He's creating stuff in Gmail.
Oh, it's your okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay, and finish. So it's just to give you an idea that very musical air people with the tool, with Python programming, could make professional music easily. You need to have the musical air, you need to have the tool, and you need to know how to use it, and it's something that could be done using just basic Python thing. So here we just use two different concepts, a variable and a function, which is fetch media function. Okay? I promise you that I will show you how to add buttons and stuff to the I'm going to stop the PowerPoint here. I'm going to show you some example of the code that I was hoping to show you, but they are with the explaining in the file we are going to send you. Is it going to be sent through email, Devani?
Yeah.
Okay. So I will show you the graphic things So the graphic user interface, like so here, like a 5-6 line of code, you could run and have a message, a little button message showing on the screen. Hello, coding word. So what we use another library named Tkinter. We import it, and we use the TTK for the label. So label is ttk.label window. This is the text we write on it, and here it's when you have different stuff. You have a label, you have a button, you have text zone, you will have rows, so where you put them in your graphic design. So row 1, colon 1, because I have only one object, it will not make any change. But if I have 3 or 4, I could put them in rows and columns and organize them. That's the standard code to make a message. I will show you this messages, different messages in one code. I think it's just 4 lines. Yes, it's 4 lines. So it's giving you different message that you could give to the user. So if I run this, run the model, it will give me the information. And if I show you the code, the information is what I put here. And the message I'm giving, it's informative message, and that's what you see here. It could be whatever. It's just give them a sign, something for your program you are doing. You give the user this, do this or don't do this, and or you give them a choice or okay or not. So this is the first message. The second one right away after, it's an error message. And here error, it's showing here, and error message is showing here. And we are calling it from the Tkinter and message box, and message box have show info, show error, show warning. That's how we create a message like that. As easy as it is. And if you want those messages with the okay or no, so chooser, no, it's not file chooser. Okay, no, sorry. So from Tinker import message box, and message box give you those message. So message box ask okay, cancel. So if I do this, it will give me a button with okay and a button with cancel. This one will give me retry, cancel. Yes or no, and cancel. So I run them, and you could see the 4 of them running from here. So this is the okay, cancel. Do you want to open this file? Okay. This is the retry, cancel. If somebody done something wrong and you want to ask him if you want to retry or cancel. I close it, it's give me the next. This is the yes, no. And the last one is yes, no, cancel. And I put the code in the folder that you are going to be receiving. So if you want to see it, play with it, and give it a... I will show you the file chooser. File chooser, it's a little more, but it's just showing you how to create those things that you see. What folder are you looking for? Please select a folder. So I could go to my home Westwood desktop. I could go to my presentation, and that's the folder is function. Okay, now how to select a file. It gives you how to select a file. And this all are no longer than one line of code for everyone. So if you want to make a graphic design with those messages showing to the user and everything, it's look very professional, but it's really easy to do. It's a Python, and Python makes things easier. I will show you the button action. I actually make it with Turtle. So I import both Turtle. I take enter. So when you run the program, I will have a program. When I press, it's good the graphic. When it's done and I press, it will do the graphic again. And it works like that. So it's, and the button is showing on the bottom of the Turtle window. So here I will show you the code again. It's not that big. I use a function for the action. My action is drawing. And action is what is asking here. Command is action. So whatever you ask the program to do, it's going to the command. Whatever function you give it, it's going to execute it. So when I click on the button, it's going to execute whatever in action. And for me, action is going and drawing with Python. It could be something else. It could be going to database, looking for information, or to do that, or different things. It's just dependent on what you want to do with Python. So what I done, every single things I talk about it, I put folders. So in the presentation folder you are going to receive, here you have a folder for basic, folder for classes, folder for function, folder for graphic user interface, turtle, string, loops, ifs, and the PowerPoint presentation. And please try it. If you have any question, I will be here next presentation. If you have any question for me, I will be helping out. And you could also ask Drew, because he's going to go, starting from what we done today, to go to next level. So, I don't know if you have any question for me, yes?
So I can go to Google and download that for Python, the 3.0.
Yes, it's free. Yes, it's in the PowerPoint I show you. The first slide give you the link for it. So the first slide is the python.org, where if you go to python.org, you will find the 2.7 and the 3.5 Python. So download, you go to download page and you have both of them. They are free, they are available for Windows, Linux, and the Mac. So doesn't matter what computer you use, it's there.
So yeah, all the code in for this workshop and a presentation will email out to all of you guys. And then you've also been given posters for the next upcoming workshops. And this is all in preparation for Community Code Day. And so Community Code is, we'll just talk more about it. So Community Code Day is a hackathon. How many people have heard about a hackathon over here? Do you guys know what hackathons are? So hackathons are like these events that happen in usually larger cities where people get together, and it's a 2-day event. The first day you go there, you meet new people, you can sign up individually, or you can sign up as a team, and then you get a project, you get a theme statement, and you have to work on a project there, come up with like not a solution, but any project that like addresses the theme, and then you have 6 or 7 hours, you're given food and everything, and you work on the entire project for the entire day, and the next day you present to a panel of judges, and you get awards and stuff. And there's also different speakers, like speakers talking about art in the community, and stuff like that. So Daniel will tell you more about it.
Yeah, so like Giovanni said, you guys, I think, all have a leg up over everyone else because you were able to come to this workshop today and get an introduction to some of the tools that you can use during a hackathon. It's really going to be a fun event. Most people signing up will be beginners. and everyone's just going to be working together to have fun, building something with code. So really you'll get to utilize the skills that you learned today, and if you came to the previous workshop around web development, some of those skills as well. And like Jamadi said, you can just apply them to anything along the theme. And the theme that we're looking at for this year is going to be arts and culture. So you can see that Mr. Saeed actually gave you some pretty good tools around the arts and culture side. So you can use Turtle to do different kinds of sketches and things like that. You can use your sketch to do music. So, you know, there's tons of different things that you can use these different coding tools to do. And, you know, if you came to the previous workshop, obviously, there's lots of different artistic ways that you can do web development. So like I said, the hackathon's going to be a lot of fun. What we're planning to do is we're actually going to have you paired with artists, which is going to be tons of fun. So we'll have artists there. And we're also going to have, like Damani said, different workshop speakers and presenters to come in and talk to you about technology in the community. We're going to have some speakers talking about technology and entrepreneurship. So we're looking at different industry partnerships to get a lot of different really engaging and interactive speakers to talk to you guys a little bit more about coding, about arts, about culture, and about a few of the different things that we discussed. So if you have any questions about it, you can talk to any of us. And you guys, I think, have all already signed up through the website, so you know how to get here, communitycodeday.com. But it has the sign up as well for the hackathon event as well. And that's going to be taking place at the end of May, so it's May 26th and 27th. And like Damani said, so the first day you'll be put into teams, and you'll work for 6 or 7 hours just coding, fiddling around. If you want to use Python, fiddling around with Python, making something fun and cool and exciting. And then the second day, on the Sunday, we're going to have a panel of judges. And again, you know, you don't need to be intimidated. It's all going to be for fun. You guys compete together, potentially win some prizes, showcase the cool things that you built with your code, and get free food. So it's going to be a really great event. So again, info@communitycodeday.com, or talk to any of us. We can give you more information about it, and you can sign up through the website.
Yeah, and it's open to high school students, university, college students, and any other adults. So it's more of like an older audience and for like the actual event.
We have to talk about the next session, and also the next one with the VR. So the next session will be extension with Python. That means the advanced things with Python will be done by Dhruv Patel. And the next one will be virtual reality programming, and it will be done by Parag in the back of the room. So please, if you are interested by the subject, you are welcome to. Thank you very much.
Before you leave, we do have certificates of completion for all of you for coming in and taking part in this workshop. So we'll call your name, we'll ask you to come to the front, get your certificate, and then we actually want to take a group photo up here at the front. So if everyone can stay at the front, as long as you're comfortable having your picture taken, we'll take a big group photo of the whole class and with your lovely instructor here, Mr. Saeed, and with the Community Code Day team. So I'll let you take it away.
Okay. Abdullah Zahid. Abdullah Zahid.
Maybe next door.
Okay, that's I'm trying to.
We'll go.
They're all coming in.
Okay, they're all coming over. We're going to be packed in here.
Okay. For a few minutes, no problem.
So we divide ambulance.
Yes.
Okay, Abdullah Zahid. Abdullah, yes, come please. Ali Qureshi. Ali Qureshi. Avi Pandya. Avi. Aisha. Aisha Qureshi. Barbara Medin. Yeah.